Jerry Whiting, my brother, how are you?
I'm doing well, Viv. How are you doing this wonderful first time online Seattle Hempfest event?
I'm doing finer than a freckled frog hair follicle freaking freely and getting funky at the online fest, my brother, and that's fantastabulate.
I hear you.
Fantabulastic. You had to ask, didn't you?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Well, normally in a normal year, we would be down on the Seattle waterfront with 100,000 people and 300 arts, crafts, food, and informational vendors and multiple stages and
Yep.
we would have a huge symposium tent where we have panel discussions all day, a big circus tent, 100 by 40-foot circus tent. And that's where we would be standing right now doing this because every year what we do is we make sure that we can honor people from the cannabis community, culture, and industry who are what we believe are doing exceptional acts of cannabis activism. And so it's been an annual tradition at HempFest to give away a couple awards to really honor people that we feel have, really risen to the occasion and done what we consider to be excellence in cannabis activism. And Jerry, it gives me, well, first of all, I just want to thank you for all the work that you've done on making the Hemposium channel rock and happen and manifest. This has been a labor of love, a leap of faith, and an act of defiance against this crazy pandemic to keep the fire burning. So thank you for that, my bro.
Well, Viv, it's been my distinct pleasure. I lived in Seattle for 30 odd years. At first, having lived in Ann Arbor back in the 70s when possession was a $5 parking ticket like thing, it was a pleasure to go to HempFest third weekend in August and wander around this beautiful park next to the water downtown on the other side and enjoy full-on cannabis culture. From doing that, we began to host friends who were speakers and organizers. Next thing I know, my family did the Project CBD booth. You and I met on main stage when you handed me the microphone. And it's been my distinct pleasure to weasel my way into HempFest every summer, exhibiting, giving short talks on various stages. And you're right, the very hub is the Hemposium. And I've been honored to be on panels, even moderating one. And this year, as a former software nerd, it was my pleasure to help put this online because after 29 years, we can't let HempFest disappear. Now we can grow and morph, but it can't go away.
We want to make that 30th anniversary next year, man. I mean, it's been an amazing journey to justice, and it's because of people like you, Jerry, who have been throwing it down and hemp-presenting, as we say, to keep this fire, this nug, this freedom fire burning all these years. And I want you to know that you are the recipient of the 2020 Seattle Hempfest Excellence in Regional Activism Award for all of your work in the Pacific Northwest, even though you work on a national level. And we have a special award being made by Special K Glass that's being blown right now that we're going to get to you, man. So we can't hand it to you across the screen like we normally would do. But, you are just such a righteous friend and ally and comrade and supporter of HempFest and the cannabis community, all that you've done, and all that I personally know that you've done behind the scenes for patients that are hurting, that are going through their health struggles and stuff. You have been there in ways that very few people have. Would you talk a couple minutes about your work?
So, I've been with the plant since I was in high school, hell, junior high, and I'm an old guy. But the last few years, the last 8 years specifically, my relationship to cannabis changed. At the urging of my middle son, Coleman, I began to explore CBD positive cannabis strains. This is back when medical marijuana was legal here in Washington state. One thing led to another, and I ended up growing plants and making medicines, specifically tinctures and topical products. And as you said, I was really impressed with the medical marijuana scene in Washington state because it was patients helping each other. And while I wasn't an authorized patient, I was a designated provider for Coleman. I threw myself into the medical marijuana community because it was just that. It was an active community. People did it because they loved each other. What you and I call the Canna family. And you are definitely my brother in the Canna family. And so I now, after this is like the third year, I've been using, growing and making medicine with hemp. Industrial hemp post-farm bill is legal nationally and definitely in Washington state. But yes, I used to practice acupuncture many, many moons ago in Boston. This is my third time doing cannabis extraction. I did dumb stuff when I was a kid with labware, but I'm that nerd's nerd. So yeah, I delved into the chemistry and I like to, healthcare is a right, not a privilege. And if nothing else, the pandemic has pointed out the shortcomings of the current healthcare system. But there are alternatives. But like one of the Trump people said, find something else, find something new. Well, it's not new. And I really, really love Hempfest because that tribe, that posse, keeps cannabis culture alive and growing and evolving. And that's what the Hemposium does. So, I'm honored to take part in any way I can with Hempfest, but I encourage everyone listening to this to also take part. We can't go down to the park third weekend in August, but we can be together online and we can share and take care of each other, which is the legacy that Hempfest brings to the table.
Jerry, you can't spell the word healthcare without THC right in the middle of the word, man. It's embedded right in there. And it's because of the TLC that people like you have put into this movement, to this family, to this community that we have, where we commune in unity, that has made the difference. And that's why I think that you are so deserving of this honor and this award. I can't say too much about you, man. You are such an awesome brother. And I do just want to say, Iko, my bro. Ain't nothing left to do but smile. Ain't no time
Smile.
Ain't no time for hate.
9-mile skid on a 10-mile ride.
That's right, man. We're going to make this broke down palace. We're putting it back together. This Hempfest is a broke down palace right now, bro. But
some would call us a ship of fools, but I beg to differ because I think it's the pride of Cucamonga.
Well, it's time to be on Shakedown Street because people got to kick down for the cause.
Oh, yeah. I got a touch of gray going on.
Well, we're just going to keep on trucking here, I think, bro. That's what we're going to do, man. And I'm going to ramble on Rose the best I can. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know. Well, again, thank you so much. Hempfest means so much to me. I'm sitting here wearing a shirt, that comes from a few years back. And I was honored because after I put it on, I realized that my name is on the back because I spoke at this one or did something. I don't know. But again, thank you so much. It means so much to me to be recognized by the family that I'm honored to be a part of.
Well, I just want to say that we will survive. We will get by. I love you, my bro. Thank you so much for everything, man. I look forward to when we can bump elbows in person.
Thank you so much. Love you all.
And the land is dark.